Well, hey Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the Robot Spirits GM Sniper 2 White Dingo. So, this is a Robot Spirits GM Sniper 2 based off of the White Dingo squadron that was featured in Gundam Rise from the Ashes Side Story 0079, the video game on Dreamcast. Got a remake in Missing Link. You can play the story in the SD Gundam, what was that? G-Generation Genesis? Yeah. Just kind of a cool unit of troops, and it's nice that they got it in Robot Spirits form, although this is the older Sniper 2 variant, and there is a newer one. But yeah, let's take a look at it. But before we get started, if you haven't, please subscribe. If you think this is a cool video, give it a like. Check the links in the description for ways you can support the channel. Also, join our Discord. We have a lot of fun there. But let's get started. All right, and here we go. Here is the box. So it even says in here, made in 2011. So this is an older version of the Robot Spirits. They have revamped the line quite a bit, actually. Newer ones are a lot better in terms of, I guess, articulation, build quality, even though these are still really good. The older ones are still good, but once they started going down the Ver anime route, they really started adding some awesome engineering. So yeah, GM Sniper 2. So we do have the War in the Pocket version, and there's a new version. But the original version, this is really just a repaint of it. Comes with the sniper rifle. But also, something else very interesting that happened with this is after the release of it, which was a P-Bandai, there was a mistake that was made. So Bandai sent out the new body to people who had purchased it. So by the end of this, I am going to tell you what that error was. I don't know if before then you can figure it out. Maybe throw a comment in if you could tell what the error is that they made with it. But yeah, let's dive in. All right, so here it is. Looks great. Awesome proportions, awesome scale. In fact, I have the rocket launcher from the Ground Gundam, the new Ver anime line, and it fits in perfectly. You can pull off the look that not only is in the Rise from the Ashes video game, but also the look that's part of GBO2. Because you can choose different weapons to be using with the White Dingo variant. So, you know, you could choose a rocket launcher. Also, what's cool about in GBO2 is you can use the exact same decals that you see where they're placed and just totally recreate it. So I can play with the toy in real life and in the game. Yeah, so it looks cool. But yeah, let's kind of take a look at it. I want to say I did do a review of the other GM Sniper 2, so there might be a lot of similarities there. But, you know, the main thing when it comes to proportions, or I guess the differences with the new and the old one, is slightly the proportions. This is pretty much accurate, but there's a few little differences there. Maybe a little more detail in the newer Ver anime versions, but other parts of this with the proportions makes things skinnier in some places. I think the head is a good example of that. So yeah, here's the head right here. Yeah, it can move around quite a bit. Comes with the removable antenna here. But yeah, that's open. Let's see, yeah, open, and then you can push it down to close it. That did take some work to do. Yeah, that's that extra visor, maybe to give it its range. And then, yeah, moving down to the arms. So this that I'm actually using right now is the fixed version body that was sent out. And I've noticed compared to the other one, it's not as loose. This seems to have some really good stable joints. And I'm just realizing, and the main complaint of this that was with the other one is behind me, the beam saber handles fell out because they simply plug into the back here and they come out pretty easily. So you just got to be careful about that. But yeah, moving down, let's see, with the waist articulation, that seems to do good. It seems to stop before going all the way around, which is fine because I don't expect it to do that unless it's getting destroyed. Let's see, the crunch. Actually, let me take off the hands real quick, or the weapons here. See if there's an ab crunch. It's all right. Not bad. Not good. It doesn't go back too much. There definitely is articulation here. In fact, you can even, what I assume is open the cockpit. But, you know, who knows if this was, the articulation is the way it is because it was engineered to be put together here, because it doesn't do a whole lot, but it's there. And then with the elbows, I mean, that goes up a whole lot. That's actually pretty good, especially for this time frame for these figures. And then moving down to the skirt armor, you know, that moves about like we'd expect. No special leg articulation in there. It's really just one area. It doesn't like drop down or anything, which is fine. You have the legs that go back pretty far. Yeah, the knees go back. So yeah, you get a wide range of articulation. And again, while it's solid in its own way, there is this sort of, and I guess it's more of the waist, the floppiness to it. But it is still solid, so it's like not a bad thing. But yeah, moving down to the feet, yeah, a lot of articulation there. The knee is pretty interesting because it looks like, yeah, there's different ways you can use the knee depending on where you want it to not expose maybe some of the joinery in there. So yeah, it's pretty good. I got to say, this is a solid, nice looking figure. But again, even the Ver anime, I think some of the differences too are like where the joints are here. You're not going to see the obvious like pin structure, and you might, but there's a little more detail of the joints. And then, you know, also some things that you might want to do, like if it was a Gunpla, is there's the like the circles that the GM Sniper 2 is known for on the sides. Maybe panel line them potentially. I don't know. Some robot spirits I do that with. Most I don't though. But yeah, that is the GM Sniper 2 body. Let's look at accessories here real quick. Again, we got the 2 beam saber handles there that it comes with. And I have my baggie still. This baggie had the antenna that actually, yeah, let's see if we can remove it without breaking anything. Yeah, there we go. It comes off like that. Pretty easy. You wouldn't really need to take it off, but I guess it helps if it would snap off maybe if it landed, but you know what, it's on there so tight that it might still snap off if it like falls somewhere. Yeah, that has to pop in quite a bit. Let's see. So there's the little shield adapter here. And so here's the shield. And it looks like, it doesn't though, it looks like there'd be more articulation back here to do some stuff to ground Gundam robot spirits. It does have a little bit more manipulation you can do with the shield. This is really just for looks, and that's fine. And it looks like it has 2 areas to place it, depending on how far up you want it. You know, I do kind of like this joint system. I've never found one shield connector piece that I've liked the best. But, you know, this doesn't make it stick too far off the arm, so it actually looks pretty good there. But yeah, with the beam saber handles, obviously you get the beam blade, so that looks cool. You get different hands with it. So you get a beam saber holding hand. You get a relaxed hand, or what would be holding the sniper rifle. You get a trigger finger that's on this one here. And you also get the closed, which I always like. You know, it's not always too different from the beam saber holding hand, but it's just enough to make it look awesome, especially if you're doing a certain pose. And then the main attraction of this is that sniper rifle. So here is the other one, again, because you get a second body. Here is the sniper version, or the sniper rifle, standard sniper rifle, nothing much to it. It's got good color separation. It's hard to see, but it looks like there's a piece of shiny plastic down in the scope. Yeah, not much to complain about. This looks great. So that works. Yeah, so here's that other version. Yeah, this one I'd say is a little more floppier. This kind of has that old school feel when it comes to the robot spirits. And then I say lastly, this connector stand piece right here. This is, you know, something that, again, I wish they were always built in. The older ones, they weren't. Newer ones, they are. It's the same with Gunpla. Sometimes they're built in, sometimes they're not. But at least you get the connector piece. You know, so to kind of move forward with these, if you looked at both of them, you know, what's the difference? What was the error, the mistake they made? Well, it has to do with the torso. In fact, if we look at the one on the right versus the left, that part I'm pointing at, on the right, it's white. On the left, it's blue. It's supposed to be blue. So after this was sent out to people and that error was made, Bandai then sent people a replacement body. No accessories except for an antenna. But yeah, a replacement body, but that works out because then, you know, I bought this used and part of the description was it comes with the fixed or corrected body type, which that is awesome because then I have more than one and that is awesome. So that kind of looks cool when I have them all squatted up. I love that I can grab some of the accessories from the Ground Gundam robot spirits to add on there. And I think it just makes it an awesome part of having it in your collection. Now, the only thing that I would say, and that I would love if they did, was upgrade these to have the more modern body type that we see with like the Ver anime. And I figured they could do it because they've already made it. All they have to do is paint it, put the decals on. But then I would want the GM, the RGCM 80. Is that another one? Yeah, there's the gun cannon also. So there's a number of releases I would love to get. We know we're getting Blue Destiny. That has been announced recently, so that tells me they are going to go back into the video games and start releasing more Robot Spirits based on the video games. And so that just about does it. That is the Robot Spirits GM Sniper 2, released in 2011. Obviously an awesome action figure to get. Looks great. I'm a fan of these. Can't wait for them to come out with more. Do you have these? Are you a fan of this line or these white dingoes? Do you have the Gunpla versions? I really need those. Also, are you excited about the fact that the Blue Destiny line is coming to Robot Spirits? That means it could be Missing Link. We could get the Pixie. There's so many other video game Gundams I would love to get. So yeah, hopefully get to see those soon. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk later.